Hey, Paul. This is just kind of a practice session. I am recording it. I'm going to put it up on YouTube just for you and me. Anyway, it's just the slides. I'm getting them all right. I'm making sure the stuff. I intend to do it for real probably Tuesday and put it up and send it out then. I'm calling it the Lazy River Fiasco. Uh, don't have anything else better to talk. So anyway, first thing we're going to do is the lazy river. We'll get to that later. All right. But what we have here is we have a board of directors here in the Woodlands that's comprised of these people, and we're going to talk about each one of them individually, and for just a second. Not that I know too much about it, but just a second. We're going to talk about them. Okay. But first, what has inspired this is a letter from Bruce Tuff about incorporation. And that is, over the years, we were overtaxed by the Woodlands Township to at least $20 million, $20.8 million, or whatever it is, for an incorporation reserve. And now the Woodlands population, the Woodlands people, residents, have shot that down by a margin of 70 to 30. So that really is not going to be, it's not in the cards, at least for the time being, unless they bring it up again and again and again and again. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to show you that what one of the things that really pisses me off, and that is they're not giving our money back to us. So we voted to reject incorporation by a large margin, and now there's in the whole thing there's a $3 million decrease in valuation of our money due to just inflation. Everybody knows what inflation is doing and how it's hitting us. The next thing is our township budget shows plenty of capital reserves and a huge revenue growth. The taxpayers are being overtaxed, and that pisses me off. All right. Okay, I got to remember to do that. I think the taxpayers should demand a rebate of the incorporation funds that were taken out over the past several years. That rebate, the uh, the board has just voted, and they refuse to give us back the $20 million. They have sequestered the $20 million to do something else, which I think is ludicrous. And then what they're doing is they are going to fund fire station, which is fine, park upgrade, including the best lazy river in Texas. Oh my God. I don't understand. I don't understand why they're doing this kind of stuff. Who's doing this stuff? First of all, I want you to know that the Texas has a great lazy river. All right. It's called Fun. And the head of our township is, I've never met him before, is not a guy named Gordy Bunch. He is not running again, so he'll be out of office, I think, the first of the year. But he has a bunch of people that are, we call them, uh, Tough calls him the what does he call him, the something, he has a name for him, the squad, the incorporation squad, that's what he calls them. Anyway, so it's a bunch of people, and they include Gordy Bunch, and they include this lady here. Her name is Dr. Shelley Sakula Gibbs. All right. I don't know what her PhD is or doctorate. I don't know what she's a doctor of, but she says she's a doctor. Another person is a guy named John Brown. Now, by the way, Shelley is not running. John Brown is running. He's running against Richard Franks, I think. We have another person on the board. His name is Jason Nelson. There's a story behind Jason Nelson. I might get into it later. I may not get into it later. I don't know. The next person on the board is a guy named, this guy's not running again either. His name is Bruce Reiser. So he is not running either. So he's kind of the incorporation squad. And so anyway, he's not one. And the last but not least, the person on the board is Dr. Ann Snyder. I have met Dr. Snyder. I do not know what her PhD or MD is, but I have met her. She seemed like a very nice lady, and she is in the running too. She is in the running. We'll talk more about that later. So that basically is your board of directors. And I'm not sure about, and here, Paul, help me. Did she vote for giving that money, keeping that money? I don't know. I don't know how she voted, but I need to know that before I actually do this. Okay. So anyway, so that's our board of directors right there in whole. All right. Now, what are we trying to do here? Is this is according to Bruce Tuff. Bruce Tuff was headed our board for a number of years, but Bruce, what he's saying, instead of returning the funds to the people, the incorporation funds to the people who paid them, rightfully so. It's our money. They elected to do the what we the fire station, which is good. The lazy river, which is ludicrous, and so we what we need to do, according to Bruce, is to reset our board of directors. We need to get people in there that are going to be fiscally responsible and take care of the things in the woods. Let me just give you one example. And what pissed me off was the lazy river. All right. Okay. If you go to Rob Fleming's park, they have one. They have a lazy river. It's a beautiful park. If let me just make this. Oh, I can't do that. But anyway, it's a beautiful park. I have personally never been there, but they have a lazy river and the whole 9 yards. So anyway, that is pretty much it. So I'm going to tell you right now, what we must do is we must do this now. We need to what we must do now is, oh yeah, I do have it, don't I? Yeah, what we do now to vote to give us, the residents, our money back and keep our taxes low. They need to refund that money to us. That money is ours. The next thing is we need them to pledge total transparency. No more backroom dealing and decision making type stuff. Next thing is we need for them to uh, promise incorporation stability. I would like, this is me, I would like to see at least 5 years, unless their security circumstances change, unless something really changes. Then we can talk about it. We talk about it as a whole, as a community, and not make some kind of backroom deal about somebody wanting to become mayor of the community. And so that is simple as that. That's pretty much all there is. Those three things, and hopefully we can get it. We can get it done. But we got to vote right. We got to vote for the right people. We got to get them in there, and then we got to hold their feet to the fire and make them responsible. Thank you for listening.